could you tell us more about the actual labor and delivery? What was that day like?
Sure. So I was 40 weeks and 6 days. Okay. And at that time, my OB started to talk with me about like, well, for the health of your baby, we might have to induce. And so I said, I'm hearing you, but I want to let my body tell me when it's time. And so my son was born on a Friday, very early in the morning. And that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were very intense as far as me laboring at home. It's kind of funny because when I was pregnant, you know, especially towards that third trimester, people would say, hey, have you had any contractions yet? And this is my first baby. And my mother is no longer living. And like, I don't have any women in my family that I can like ask. And so people were asking, have you had your first contraction? I don't think so. How would I know? You know? And people were trying to explain it to me, and I was like, I don't think any of that has happened. No, like no sensations am I having are that, you know. But those last few days, I was like, oh, this is a contraction. Got it. Message received. And so I labored at home for about 2.5 days. And I didn't feel the need to go to the hospital because again, at that point I was really learning about my body and understanding like what my body is designed to do. And so I've been communicating with my OB. We were supposed to be induced on that Saturday because at that point I would have been 41 weeks. And so I've been texting my doula. We had an app. We were like timing things out. You know, I had my food. Oh, praise the Lord for Shafika. Like, I had my food, I had fruit in the freezer, I have my PDF, my doula has a copy, my OB has a copy, my husband has a copy, we have a copy in the bag. We were ready to go. And so, as I was laboring at home, things, you know, started getting a little bit intense. And I was like, ooh, okay. My doula came over and, you know, we like practiced some different positions to kind of help ease some of those labor pains. And so Thursday, I was like reaching my limit. I was like, okay, I know that they want to induce me, but I really don't want to be induced. But this is like pretty bad. Like, I don't know if I can do this. So all evening, Thursday night in labor, I'm like ready just to give in. And then so I told my husband, I said, I don't think that I can do this all night again. I think that I'm just going to let them induce me, right? And he's like, sure. This is like pretty bad. And, you know, I'm timing them, but it's not quite at that 5-minute mark. So I texted my doula and I said, listen, I think that it might just be time. We might reach. She said, no problem. I'm on the way. So I get dressed. It's like midnight and we're going to the hospital. On the way to the garage, my water breaks. Okay. I was like, look at that. Look at God. It is time. Let's go. So when we got to the hospital tells you to like pre-register, right? I'd already pre-registered. When I got to the desk at the emergency room, I'm in labor. The lady at the desk says, oh, well, why are you here? I said, ma'am, I'm in labor, pregnant. This baby's coming. Right. You know, it's just like, okay, well, let me see. I said, I need you to call somebody. The baby is on the way, okay? And my doula, her timing was perfect because she arrived and I told her, I said, I need you to talk to this lady because we can't have any more conversations, she and I, you know? And so they were able to get me in. And so my labor experience was great. It was what I wanted it to be. My husband was there, he knew what to do. My doula was there to kind of help translate things between myself and the healthcare team.
I see.
Once my son got here, we started having some complications, quite frankly. I think a big piece of it was at the time that I arrived to deliver my son, the hospital staff was really stressed. They said there's like 10 people also in labor in addition to yourself. The lady next door to us was having a really hard time. Me being the first-time delivery person, natural, no medication, that was my choice. I was worried. I heard her screaming, and I said, "Is this about to be what I'm about to do? Like, is my experience going to be hers?" You know. But my doula was able to help me navigate some different positions that we had talked about, we had practiced. And so I was able to deliver my son with no medication Everything went great, except for immediately after his birth, the healthcare team was very rushed. They were like, we need to get your placenta out. We've got to go to the next person.
I see.
I told the attending that was there, I was like, oh, I know that I have time. I have 30 minutes. I haven't had any contractions yet to release the placenta. I have time. And so I looked at my doula. You know, she looked at me. We kind of, you know, and she was like, yeah, we need to give her time. Well, they were very, very rushed, and they ended up pulling at my placenta. It ended up coming out in pieces.
I see.
And so I had major postpartum hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
I lost 4.5 units of blood.
Wow.
I had to have emergency surgery immediately following that. So I did get to hold my son for, you know, a few minutes before I went to surgery. But I'll be honest, as a person who works in the community with health equity, I literally remember thinking, like, this is how it happens.
I see.
I was able to communicate, like, you know, that I needed a few minutes so that I could, like, say bye to my husband and my son. It was really scary, to be honest. As they were wheeling me back, my OB wasn't there yet because she was arriving in like a couple hours because I was supposed to be induced, right? And so my OB wasn't there yet. They ended up paging her in early so that she could do the surgery. I'm very thankful that she was able to do the surgery and that it wasn't the random doctor that was in the ER at the time, because I just don't feel like I was treated very compassionately. She cared about me.
Right.
And so whenever they were taking me back to surgery, I also distinctively remember looking at the people in the room, and there were no people of color, which made me nervous. But being able to see my OB there made me feel a little bit more at ease.
Yes.
And I honestly think her stepping in to do my surgery saved my life. Like,
wow.
Absolutely. I definitely think the healthcare team that I put together outside of the hospital really was driving the communication. Because we were able to figure out again, like, what exactly I wanted to do, plan A, plan B.
Right.
And my doula, in all of this chaos of the, like, again, not up until my son was born, but like the following, you know, just kind of reminded me, like, the goal is healthy mom, healthy baby.
Yes.
And even if plan A doesn't work, we have plan B, we have plan C. Yes. And because of that, like, postpartum hemorrhage, it definitely impacted my ability, my lactation process.
Right.
But my team here helped me navigate that. Now I'm here, a lifelong friend of uzazi.